Hey everybody, oh my stars, I am so excited that you guys are jumping in and watching this interview. I am so thankful. Thank you so much, Brady, for being here and doing this interview with me. Guys, I am thrilled for you to hear Brady's story. He's got such an inspiring story, and he's going to share with us just a little bit, like tip of the iceberg of his story, and then why he chose Plexus products. He's an amazing personal trainer. He has tried many different kinds of products, and he's going to tell us why he likes Plexus, why he chose it, and what the benefits that he's been having with the product. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Brady. Brady, please take it away.
Yes, I will take it away. For full disclosure, if random barking noises start happening, it's this thing. You can't see him super great, but he's accustomed to Zoom. So when the camera turns on, he like knows and he gets all up in the grill and he wants attention. So
that's right.
Don't mind that. It's all
same
good.
Goes for my kids, by the way. If I get interrupted.
Yeah, and you have children, and you're 6 children. So all dogs and children are welcome during the live stream of this.
Definitely.
So it's all good to go. All right, well, you know what? Thank you so much, Iris, for having me on. It's always a pleasure getting to chat with everyone and getting to share my experiences, my knowledge, and it's always good to coach. And it's one of the things that I love to do more than anything is coach. So for those of you that haven't met me before, or haven't seen my story, or haven't chatted with me, I'll try and give you the condensed, not 3-hour version that I can give, because it's very possible. But I'm a personal trainer. I own Fearless Fitness here in Alaska, where we operate out of Grizzly Family Fitness. It's a local gym out here. I am Alaska grown. I'm born and raised here in the Valley. So I've been here all of my 26 years. Colony High School graduate, for those of you who know where that is. Graduated in 2012. I know it doesn't feel like that long ago, but for me, it feels like it's been forever already, which is so crazy. I can't believe it's been 8 years. It's super weird. But I've been a personal trainer since 2012. It's literally all I know. Yeah, I graduated 2012, got my first personal training start 2012. I've pretty much known exactly what I've wanted to do since I was 17, which I'm very grateful, very lucky, because I know a lot of people that don't know and haven't figured that out. So I'm very, very fortunate. But I never thought I would own a business. That's for sure. When I started training, at 17 years old, I thought I'd just be a personal trainer for the rest of my life and be in a gym somewhere. Never thought I would start my own business, which is pretty crazy. But started Fearless Fitness in 2018. So September 1st, 2018. So our 2-year anniversary is like 2 weeks away. It's pretty nuts. And man, it's been a roller coaster ever since. But it's crazy to think about. Most fitness businesses, when you look at the standard, I guess, or some of the averages for fitness businesses around the country, there's a lot of stats that show that most of them lose money in the first 6 months to a year and a half. And I have tripled my income from my previous job of being an employee to starting a business from the ground up. I was able to make the same amount of money like day one starting my business, which I can get to here in a little bit, and am now making so much more, and generating so much more, and just so much more happier and more fulfilled than I ever was being an employer. And again, only not even 2 years old yet, right? Which is crazy. So there's a lot more to do and a lot of things going on, and more things in the future as far as that goes. But was there anything specific that you wanted me to touch on today, or any questions that you had for me?
I really want you to just touch on, because your struggle, like what brought you to personal training?
How'd I get into it?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yep. So why did I pick personal training, and why did I decide I wanted to do this? Basically, from the time I was 18 years old. So I've basically been overweight my entire life. Obviously not now, but my entire childhood, I was an overweight child, basically from, probably second grade up until my senior year of high school. So 10 years. being a kid. And so that was, if you've ever been an overweight adolescent, it's not easy. I was always a very big kid. I was 5 foot as a second grader, so I was really tall. And then I was 6'2" by the time I was a sophomore in high school. So I grew very fast when I was really young, and then I kind of just stayed tall through elementary school. I was just this big kid, but I was always just a little overweight. I just ate too much. I wasn't very active, didn't have a very healthy lifestyle. I got into sports in middle school, but again, didn't go all into it or excel at it. And was just in kind of a bad environment. All the stuff that comes with being an overweight kid, lots of bullying, lots of, peer pressure from other people. It's just, it's kind of rough. But it was really kind of a turning point for me was my senior year when I stepped on the scale for my physical and I was 295 pounds. And that was, on the brink of 300 was devastating to me. Because I had never been that big before. And so that was, that was crushing for a 17-year-old kid, who was picked on for it every day. And so when it hit that point, let's see, this was probably around October. I want to say October. I think, I don't remember quite exactly. But again, it was halfway through my senior year, between just the weight and, being abused physically, verbally, by people that I knew in my circle, peers, all of that. I hit a really low point in life, and to a point where I had contemplated suicide and had a plan at 17 years old. And so that was, definitely, it was a low point for me. And all I can say is, obviously I'm still here and still doing things, but there was what I describe like it's like a light switch effect in the brain. It was like, it's literally like bam, where I went from, I basically don't want to live anymore, to I want my life back. Is basically what it was. Or not even I want my life back. It's like I want a life in general. Like I want to do something. Like I want to be happy, really, for what felt like the first time in my life, because to me, as a kid, I felt like I spent my entire childhood in hell. Like I felt awful. Like I hated life. I really did. And, reflection now, I had it really good. When I look at, when you reflect now, is, some of the things I had, the privileges that I had, and, what I was, the ability to have an education and clothes, and to be able to have Christmas as a kid, when I know plenty of other people don't have things like that. I had it really good. But, when you're 10, 11, 12, 15 years old, you know what you know, and you only know what you've experienced. And to me, that was just crushing for me as a kid. But when I talk about the light switch effect, it was just, I don't know. I never know if it's fate or God or destiny or whatever it is, but some inner voice was telling me that there's hope for my life. And that's what I always try and tell people. Especially when I'm talking to kids or anyone who's going through a tough time, is like, look, there's always hope for your life. And it's just that inner voice, that I just knew that life didn't have to be the way that I was letting it be, that I was choosing to live that unhealthy life. And as hard as that is to admit, it is a choice. Basically, like I said, so light switch effect, to keep a long story short,
you had
went from
transformation, right?
Yeah. I basically I basically went from no exercise, eating whatever I wanted, spending all my time in front of a TV or a screen or a computer, whatever it was, to I gave up all screens, games and computers. And, the only TV that I had was, or that I really watched was, maybe 30 minutes to an hour before bed at night. And even really then, it wasn't a whole lot. I was up at 5 a.m. every single day. I went and I worked out at the gym down the street where I'm currently training now, actually. Funny how that all comes full circle.
Right.
But we were members there, but worked out for an hour every morning before school, went to school for 4 classes because I was on half days as a senior. One of those classes was a weight training class, so I worked out twice. And then I got a job pushing carts at Safeway and carrying groceries out 6 to 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. So I was moving all the time, just constantly doing something. And then also I gave up just eating like junk. Like I remember this, and I totally don't agree with doing this now, but I was desperate when I was 17. Like I was desperate for anything, whatever was going to get the job done. I remember hating everything that I was eating. I was so like it was like, we're talking like unseasoned, prepped turkey burgers wrapped in lettuce, and that was it. Like no salt, no pepper, no anything on it. Like I wrapped it up, I took it with me, and when I was working at cars, so I didn't want to eat any of the food there, and that was what I ate. And then I ate it, and I went back, and apples and stuff like that, sure, but like I didn't cook anything. I was eating 5 protein shakes a day. I wasn't even eating the good protein. I went to that bad place, the GNC place, and I just bought their giant thing of whey. But you know what I will say is, again, I don't condone that now, but when I was 17 and all, it was way better than eating donuts and pizzas and cookie and cake and all that stuff. It was just so went from eating, all of these calories loaded with carbs and sugar to eating not super fantastic whey protein. It was still a big change, right? Which was huge. And I was even taking some of these and this is another issue, but I started taking these supplements as well. So I've been taking supplements since I was 17 years old that were extra fast calorie burner. So burn 10 times more calories. And so I did. So I was taking all this stuff from GNC, and I definitely don't condone it now. And I'll share why in a second, but basically full flip around, right? From doing absolutely nothing, not caring in the world about what I eat, but to caring about everything that I ate and moving all the time. Lost 110 pounds in 10 months.
Wow.
So 295 to 185 in 10 months.
Wow.
So I that is not the goal to shoot for, because look, again, 17 years old, right? I had nothing else going on in my life. No kids, no dogs, no job, no responsibilities other than working at Safeway, 4 classes, of high school. And that was only for a few months. So it was like, look, I was just all in on this, and that's all I was doing. Right. But I actually, and so this is what was interesting is, 185 for me at 6'2", I was very, very thin.
Yeah.
I was really thin. So part of that, I lost a lot of strength and a lot of muscle. I was actually, I wasn't eating enough, and I was still taking some of those nasty pills that, because I was so in that spot of, I never wanted to be fat again, that I was doing anything to keep the weight off, because I was so mentally scared of getting big again, because I had yo-yoed my entire life, where it was I would lose 20, 30 pounds in the winter, and then I'd gain it all back in the summer. And so I was so scared of getting that weight back that I was doing whatever it took, and hit this realization. I started getting sick. I started, I was puking a lot for no reason, stomach issues, and just feeling really weak and not lethargic, but low energy. And it was just this little epiphany when I was going through my certification and just kind of learning and educating myself about food and supplements. And I was like, okay, something's got to change.
Right.
And quickly got off some of those nasty supplements. Was still taking protein. I was actually introduced to a different kind of protein, which is way, way better for you.
Right.
And I actually take it to this day. It's not lean. I'm sorry. I love the lean, but I'm a pro gym protein freak. I love it. I love it every single day.
And I want to note
that's
on
just my
that.
thing.
I want to note on that really quick. I often tell people, I'm not like a Plexus purist to where Plexus is the only thing I take. It's a tool in the toolbox of health, and I absolutely promote it. I think it's life-changing, but like I take a vitamin D that's different. I take a vitamin C that's different. You know, there's some
Yeah,
other
sure.
stuff that I give my kids cod liver oil. It's not as bad as you think. But so, absolutely. I like that you pointed that out. So
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, but no, so like I said, it's my protein. So I switched to it. It's really good. He's got a lot of science and stuff behind it. So I really enjoyed it. But anyway, the point is fix that, got on better supplements, changed my diet around, was still exercising. And it's been a really long journey now, 8 years later, but feeling really good. I don't know what I'm probably like. I go anywhere from 200 to 210 pounds up and down. And
yeah,
I'm feeling as good as I ever have.
right.
Um, just from changing my diet, eating right, doing what I'm supposed to do.
And I love the
But
backstory, Brady. I love the backstory because it's showing that you have a ton of experience with all kinds of different supplements. And when you
yes, I have taken a lot of supplements.
yeah, so when you and I met 2 years ago, we, started to get to know each other's businesses, and Brady and I, that's how we met, is in a networking company. And so we've been networking and kind of partnering together. And when he took a look at my products, it was really encouraging what he found. So I'm gonna let you go from there.
Yes, let's go from there. Yep. So I just want to reiterate, I've taken a lot of supplements in the last 8 years. Like I have tried so many things. It's crazy. Like I've tried everything on the shelf at GNC. I've done the gym stuff. I've tried, the what is it? The CO2,
Oh,
whatever, I'm
yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff. We've done Advocare. I've tried Isogenics.
Right.
I've tried this other one. Like I don't remember anymore. Like I didn't even care for it at all. I don't remember the name of it. But a lot of supplements. And I'm the guy that I've got, when I look at my Plexus, I've got Metaburn, I've got Balance, Nerve, Collagen, ProBio 5, I've always had some sort of multivitamin and recovery and fat burner and a couple things like that. I definitely have a lot more now with Plexus than I ever had before, and I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah.
But here's what I'll say about supplements. And I think the number one thing is look, supplements are really, really important, but they're not a cure-all, right? You can't take, sorry, dog is getting into stuff. They're really, really important, and I love them, and they have changed my life.
Right.
But if you just take supplements and you don't exercise, you don't eat good food, you don't take care of your body in other aspects, it's not a cure-all.
Right.
Okay. Right. There are huge benefits, like we talked about, with the gut inflammation, like Iris tells you all the time, and helping with joint inflammation, with balancing out blood sugar. All of those things are very, very important. But the pink drink doesn't make you burn fat and build muscle, right?
Right.
There's a whole lot of things there. So I love supplements and they're important, but I'm an advocate of wellness, right? And that's exercise, nutrition, supplementation,
Yes.
right? To achieve health and wellness, right? So that's why I like to incorporate all of those things, and I continue to incorporate those things in my everyday life.
Yes.
What Plexus has done for me is, there's a variety of things. Taking Plexus has done a few things for me. One, like again, the gut health aspect has changed my life. Like that has been a huge change for me. Starting slim, I started with just a triplex: Slim, ProBio 5, BioCleanse, right?
Yep.
Triplex. That's all I started with. And within just a couple weeks, I noticed my stomach didn't feel as hard and bloated.
Yep.
I was going to the bathroom a lot easier. I wasn't feeling sick or nauseous all the time. A lot of my headaches, I was having very frequent, headaches.
Right.
And a lot of that was going away. Sometimes days happen, you still get a little migraine every now and then, but that's just the nature of life.
Yep.
But it wasn't as frequent because of, the other issues that I had going on that I didn't realize. Taking a probiotic to help with, you know, really the bloating was like a big serious thing, especially someone who, again, I eat a lot of protein every day, and that's like a real thing. And so the probiotic has really helped a lot with all of that. And now incorporating the X factor and incorporating the collagen and the nerve to help with reducing pain, because I'm an athlete. You know, I play basketball 5 days a week, 2 hours at a time. You know, we have league coming up this year, and it's always very taxing on my body. I bike, I hike, I train 7 days a week. I do a lot, and you're hurt sometimes. And the call between, you know, stretching, obviously, which is very important. Don't get me wrong. You got to stretch. Okay. You got to do that. Okay. Movement's important. You got to move, you got to stretch, you got to keep your muscles pliable, mobile, all of that. But man, adding the nerve and the ease and the collagen, like my recovery times are faster. I'm not as sore for as long. Some of the nagging pains that I've had have gone away. I haven't had muscle cramps since I started the nerve 2.5 weeks or a month ago.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot. It's been pretty recent. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a month since I started nerve, and so a lot of my quad and my calf pain is gone. Some days you're a little sore after a good workout, but it's not like the prolonged like where you feel like you have a knot in your leg. So that has been really, really nice that I haven't had that pain. Man, just so many different benefits from everything I've taken. And what's great, here's a couple things that I've really noticed. This is what sets Plexus aside from my point of view as someone who has seen a lot of different supplement companies. Okay. There's a few things that really stick out to me and why I've really loved it so much. Number one, everything's all natural, and that's fantastic. You know, it's great to see a company that doesn't have a ton of chemicals or additives or fake additives or anything like that in there. Everything's very, very clean. Everything's backed by science. That's what really stands out to me. Is I love all of the research that they make available to the public on all of their products. That is huge for me. Right. Huge. And I love that, and all the different studies behind the benefits and what it does. The other aspect is, because look, a lot of those companies I mentioned, they're all MLMs, right? And they all have the same system, just like Plexus does. But man, Plexus is really great about how they have it all set up. Right. I remember working with, I won't name, but a specific company where when we were doing it at the former gym that I trained at, like, it was ridiculously expensive to be just a regular customer. Like, we're talking $80 for 25 servings of protein. $80. It's ridiculous. And so it's like, oh, you got to get your 40% discount, so it makes it worth it. And the way to get your 40% discount was you had to sell like $3,000 worth of products in 40 days or something like that.
Crazy.
Like, it's insane. So they were like, you sign up and you have to do it within your first 30 days. And if you don't, you have to start over again. Like, I'm serious. Like, if you didn't hit your amount in that 30 days, you had to completely go back to zero and try it again in the next 30 days.
My stars.
No, I'm not kidding. It's absolutely insane. And so super, super aggressive with like the salesy side of things. Yeah. So it almost felt like you had to be a business if you wanted to get a good thing on it. And listen, don't get me wrong, they were a very successful company for a while. And backed by a lot of people, pro athletes even. But like I said, just when you look at, you know, it doesn't feel right. When it doesn't sit right in your stomach, mm-hmm. and it doesn't, you know, feel like it's doing the right thing, I don't do it. And so it just didn't feel right. Not to mention it tasted awful. Like, it wasn't even that good. Like, Plexus tastes good. I've liked everything that I've had from Plexus other than the mocha, but that's because I don't like coffee. So that's just me.
And you know, what's funny, Brady, is they just discontinued it.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, I don't think you're the only one. But yeah, I mean, the mocha was a little iffy. You kind of had to get it just right for it to taste good. But no.
Anyway, I love, everything tastes good. Like, I love everything, and I like the way that everything tastes. But this goes back to the other thing is, like, look, it's totally affordable. Yes. Like, again, even as a preferred customer,
Right.
it's still very affordable.
Yes.
And so it's like, what's great about Plexus is like, look, you can sign up as an ambassador, you get your wholesale discount, you get your 25% off for life as long as you maintain your ambassadorship.
Right.
And you don't have to sell anything. Like if you don't want to, you don't have to. You don't have to. There's no obligation to sell $3,000 worth of product in 30 days or in any amount of period. There's great incentive. Like I like all of the fast start bonuses. Like if you really want to make a business out of it, there's some really cool incentive to share it with your friends and they'll give you bonuses. But by no means do you feel obligated like you have to do it or like you're being forced into it.
Yes.
And that's great. And I want to testify, I didn't do anything with it for almost a year after Iris signed me up. And shame on me because I missed out on like some serious bonuses incentives, but I don't like to dwell. But I was able to do that comfortably and be able to get my stuff. And now when I hit a point where I was ready to start to really share it with my clients, I was able to do that. And now people are on board and I'm growing the business side of things with Plexus and making it grow within my team.
Yeah.
And so that's really great. Again, no stress, no obligation. And Plexus is really cool about it the whole way. And that's awesome.
Right.
I think I touched on everything. I gave a lot of reasons.
No, this has been so great. Yeah. And I love
straightforward.
Yeah. And I love how you wrapped it up. I mean, it's as Tarl says, our CEO, like it is network marketing the way it should be done. So it's network marketing is often not done right, and Plexus does it right. And they really put the ambassadors first. And everyone that picks up the phone, with the exception of a few, customer service people that get hired and you're like, yeah, you shouldn't be doing this job. But for the most part, every time you pick up the phone and you call Plexus corporate, they thank you for being an ambassador because they know that without you, they wouldn't have a job.
You know what that is it's a good company culture.
Yes.
Which you don't get, especially in the supplement industry, you don't get a lot of those. Yes. And culture is huge. Yes. And what's wonderful, and you're right, and I've only talked with 2 Plexus people, but you're exactly right. In super great with service. Right. Thankful to have you on board. I mean, it was like I was talking to 2 different people, but it was like I was talking to the same person.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And so that was really good. And it just comes back to great culture that starts from the top up or from the top down.
Exactly.
And how to support and share all of that. And that's really wonderful. And just one more reason why they're great, because you do not get that with other companies.
Right.
From personal experience. There might be some out there, but I don't know of them and I haven't chatted with them. So
yep. Agreed. This has been so great. Brady, thank you so much for taking us just down your rough road that you have overcome, and you've become a personal trainer. You had all this experience. You've done supplements the wrong way and you've adjusted and done them the right way. And you've gone through several companies and you've come to Plexus and you found your niche. And that's just awesome. So thank you so much. This has been great. Thank you guys for joining.
We're done? That's it?
I know.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We're going to go ahead and wrap it up because usually our team Zooms are only about 30 minutes. So
perfect. That's all right. I love it.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next time.